And as you wear the gloves, don't touch your eyes or other private parts.
Your eyes are private. Don't touch yourself.
Don't touch yourself.
Hold, please.
Oh, please. My wife is looking up. My wife is saving my butt. We are back with another recipe. This time we are doing jalapeno poppers, and I cannot take credit for the breading. Craig's Kitchen, CraigTube, link in the description below, came up with this breading method for the jalapeno poppers, and it is the best one I've ever had in my life. Now, aside from the breading, we do season ours differently, and we have a different method of putting it together. So while I will take credit for our recipe for the jalapeno popper, Craig gets the credit for the breading. And I am changing our breading a little bit because we're not using the Italian breadcrumbs in this way that he does. We use panko and we mix in our own Italian seasoning. I will get to that. But to start, there is something fabulous about this recipe. We have 6 jalapenos here. We're gonna cut those in half. And then, as you can see, I have a culinary butane torch. And what I will do with this is I'm gonna roast the outside of the jalapenos, which will make it delicious. Then we're gonna stuff them with the cheese mixture. And then we're going to bread them. We're gonna throw them in the freezer for at least an hour, pop them out, throw them in the air fryer, and go to town. These are amazing. First things first, safety. Wear gloves. Don't touch your eyes.
Don't touch anything.
Or just don't touch anything, even with the gloves on. This is to protect you, so safety first. All right, so I have 6 jalapenos here. I've washed them and they are ready to go. I'm gonna cut the tops off. I have a little bowl here to throw everything in. I can already smell the spiciness just cutting off that top piece. And one thing you want to be mindful of when picking your jalapenos, the straighter the better. That will help, and get them all at about the same size. Consistency is important with these as well. Now you'll see all the veins and everything in here. All I'm going to do is cut it lengthwise, and then we'll scoop out all of the veins and everything in there. So as you can see, all these veins and stuff, I'm going to use a spoon. I'm going to scoop it out into this bowl. One thing you can do is just pull some of the vein out just with your fingers to get it started. If you use a spoon, it can get kind of messy, so sometimes I just start it off with my fingers and then just scrape with the spoon, get all the residual pieces off. And don't get too crazy. Just make sure the seeds are out, and you'll see that white vein piece. If you get too aggressive, you can crack the jalapeno, and then it gets weird. You lose its integrity. So what I'm going to do is take this, I'm going to put it on my roasting pan, and you'll see some magic in a little bit. When I finish cutting these up, getting the veins out, it's time for the flamethrower. We're going to roast these, so you're going to be cautious. And this is just a culinary butane torch. You could buy it on Amazon. Gently roast the outsides, get it even. You don't want to do it too long, otherwise they get soft. So you're just trying to get a quick little sear on the outside. And you don't want the blue flame part touching. You want the tip of it, that's where most of the heat is, and it'll do it up nice and quick. Oh, and you should turn your hood vent on. All right, so that's all that is to that little fun experiment. However, this is gonna give you, it's gonna give you such an amazing roasted flavor. The thing to do is to now let them cool down before you start stuffing it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these out. I'm gonna flip them so they're up like this. I don't want them to sweat out and get any moisture in the inside the boat. So really just pop them out. And they should still have a firm texture to them. All right. In order to make our cheese spread, it contains something I just am not a fan of. However, I'm eating it. It's cream cheese. I'm not a big fan of cream cheese. All right, I'm just not. I don't like the texture and the taste of it's weird. I just have an issue with it. However, for this recipe, we are using cream cheese, but we are not using just any type of cream cheese. This is Greek cream cheese. So it's 70 calories, or no, it's 60 calories per serving, I believe, rather than the typical 100 calories per serving. So it's a lot, it's reduced quite a bit. Even if you get low-fat cream cheese, reduced and everything, it's like 70 calories. So this still beats it out. And it has more protein.
We like the protein.
So we use this, it's a block, 8-ounce block. I have 1 cup of extra sharp cheddar cheese that we freshly grated. And you want to freshly grate it because it incorporates better than buying the shredded stuff. I mean, you can buy the shredded stuff, but this is Tillamook and it's extra white, extra sharp cheddar cheese, not extra white. Extra sharp cheddar cheese. Then I have 2 tablespoons of bacon crumbles that I will throw in there. I have 2 chives that I have chopped up finely. I will throw them in there. Now the key to this mixture is to let your cheese come to room temperature. And so I've had this block of cheese sitting out here coming to room temperature while I've gotten everything prepared. And this is how simple it is. You take your mixture and you just incorporate everything. So start mixing it up. This is the simple process. You're going to take some of your cheese mixture, and believe me, it's going to get very messy, and you're going to just get some. I'm going to start putting it in the boat, okay? It's going to get on your hands, and you want it to get on your hands. You want this cheese mixture on your hands because you also want to like rub the outside of it and get a little bit on there. It creates a bit of stickiness that allows the breading to adhere to, and it gives it some extra flavor. So this is all I'm doing. I'm gonna put these there. What you're going to do is prepare our breading station. To do this, we have 1 cup of flour. We have 2 cups of panko. I'm going to add in here 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning, 6 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. I'm going to go ahead and add that in now. I also have 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. I'm going to add that in. And I'll do my 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. This is our own Italian seasoning blend. Link in the description below. Which it looks like we're gonna have to make some more. For our egg mixture, I am gonna use 1/4 cup of whole organic milk. This will stretch the eggs out, and it also stretches out some of the proteins in the eggs. I'm gonna drop 2 eggs in here. Get a fork and beat the eggs. Now, you might be thinking this is a lot of breading for what we have here. And I'm not gonna disagree. It looks like a lot, considering we only have these 12 poppers here. But this is such a critical step in the process. Here's what we're gonna do. Take a popper, I'm gonna put it in flour. I'm gonna put it in egg, put it back in the flour. I'm gonna put it back in the egg. Then I'm gonna put the breadcrumbs. So you have to do this process. It's important to do the flour twice. And this is gonna give it a nice thick crust. So remember the cheese we put on the outside? That's gonna play a key role here. I'm gonna go ahead and roll this in our flour. Get it on there. Shake off any extra. I'm gonna dip it in our egg mixture. Okay. Put it back in our flour, and I'm gonna use a dry hand this time. Okay, get some flour on there. In. Okay. Should get some on the edge. Take any extra off. Put it back in our flour. I'm gonna dip this, make sure it's well coated. And then make sure any egg extra egg comes out into the breadcrumb mixture, and I'm gonna add some breadcrumbs on the stove, and also on the jalapeno popper. Okay, so this is the first phase in breading this thing. Make sure you get all as much of it coated as possible, and then I'm going to put it back on my baking sheet to rest, and we're going to let that rest for a few minutes, and then you're going to see some more magic happen. I'll be right back. As a side note, you can use Italian breadcrumbs for this. It's just more calories and a lot more sodium. And what we do for our breadcrumbs is we take some panko and crush it up and throw some Italian seasoning in it, our homemade Italian seasoning, and it gives us that Italian breadcrumbs that we look for. So I highly recommend making your own. Here it goes. Let's do it to it, Lars. So there you have it. All of these have been breaded, but we're not done. More breading to occur. And again, this is all due to Craig's Kitchen, CraigTube on YouTube. I will show you. I'll link in the description below. Now, here is the magical part of the breading. These have been resting. I'm going to start in reverse order so to give the later ones time to rest. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip them back into the eggs and then back into our Italian, or into our breadcrumb mixture here. So I needed that. Now take this, drop it in. This is now the fully breaded version. Look at that. Ooh, it looks so good. All right, I'm gonna keep on going. I am done breading 12 of these. It took some time and it's quite messy, but look how thick those are. Look at the breading on that. Craig, shout out, man. You're the man. This is how you bread them. Now, the cheese and the filling, I think this wins. When you do the bacon crumbles and the chives and all of that, it's just amazing. I'm gonna throw these in the freezer for 1 hour, and then we'll be back for the magic, because once we air fry these bad boys, woo! Woo! It's gonna get hot in here. It has been an hour, and our jalapeno poppers are ready to go into the air fryer. So I have preheated my air fryer, 400 degrees for 5 minutes. Now take it out. Bam. I'm gonna spray it with avocado oil on the inside, keep it from sticking. I'm gonna take some poppers and put them in here. Now you want to gently lay them in. Then a light spritz of olive oil up on top. This helps them get crunchy. And watch this. I'm gonna do, you do 5 to 8 minutes. I'm gonna do 6 minutes on these. Just let it go. You don't need to flip it. You just let it go like that. Looks like we're coming up to 5 minutes, and I wanna check it. Oh, look at that. How convenient. And looks like they could use a little bit more. These are fairly large. I'm gonna go ahead and let it finish out for that last minute. I might add a minute here just to see. I'm gonna do that now. And it's that simple. We'll be back. The poppers are ready to go. Timer has gone off. Oh, yeah. These are nice golden brown. Look at that. I'm gonna go ahead, plate these up. I'm gonna go ahead and show you here what these look like. Like and subscribe for more videos.